Hi guys, I hope you're all really well. I'm Lucy for those of you that don't know me, and if you do know me then welcome back. I'm here today with a little boy called Harry who will not come on camera for some reason. This video is a follow-on from my last video, which was finding out that our baby was deaf, or is deaf. And I thought, sorry if I keep looking down, Harry is just down here crawling underneath the tripod. I'm hopefully going to get him to come on camera in a minute. So today's video is a little bit more about after we found out Harry was deaf, after he had his operation, and what it was like when Harry's cochlear implant was switched on, and what life is like now, 2 years on from having his cochlear implant fitted. So Harry was 14 months when he had his cochlear implant surgery, and I think that was a really good age. He was the right age, as in he could respond to hearing tests and things like that, so they knew for sure that he had no natural hearing whatsoever. So I did say it in my last video, but basically cochlear implants take away any natural hearing that you do have. So if I was to have a cochlear implant, I wouldn't be able to hear with my natural hearing abilities. It's almost like a false sense of hearing. So during a cochlear implant operation, the surgeon inserts what sort of looks like this little silicone, it's about ½ centimetre thick. It's like a little silicone bit with electrodes basically all inside it, as well as a magnet. And that bit goes under Harry's head around this sort of area and this side. He had both sides done. Sometimes you only have one done in some countries, but in our country they tend to do both ears at the same time. And as I said, that has a magnet attached to it. So that's how the external parts stay on his head. So in a minute I will show you Harry, and I'll show you the cochlear implant and how it comes on and off of his head, because it's quite impressive. So in that silicone thing is a little cord, got electrodes inside, and these electrodes start in this silicone little pad, and they go all the way around and all the way in and inside his ear. So the surgeon cuts here behind his ear, really small, you can't even see where he did it, and drills into his skull and into his inner ear. So they get these electrodes and they wrap them around the cochlear nerve, which is about the size of a pea. So really intricate surgery. These electrodes, when connected to the cochlear implant, send signals to the brain to tell the brain that you are hearing, and it generates it into sound. So really clever, very scientific. That's my best, most simple explanation of how it works. I hope that makes sense. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about how the cochlear implant works, but I wanted to talk to you about firstly what it was like when my son's cochlear implant was switched on. If you haven't seen the video, then have a little look now. I will link it below, or have a look after the video. The videos that I'd seen of people having their cochlear implant or their hearing aid switched on were incredible. They were the real tear-jerking ones. They either had a little baby and they... Yeah?
I that one.
You want that one? Okay. They either had a little baby who was being switched on for the first time and they giggled, or they cried, and it's just really lovely. Like, they smiled. It was really cute. But when we were going through the process of getting the cochlear implant, they did say to us to not really set ourselves up with expectations. So they said that a lot of the time, little ones actually don't have much response at all, if any. And we did find that with Harry. He did definitely have a response, but it was more subtle, and it was more like, oh, what was that? Like, that's new, but not that exciting. And I think it's mainly because when you think of a cochlear implant switch on, you think they're suddenly going to be flooded with sound, but actually they turn it up so gradually, so that sound that he's actually getting is very minimal. So it's not a real big deal for them, and it's a really big deal for us, but it's not really for them. So it was really exciting, and it was one of the best days of our lives. Like, we gave our little boy hearing. It's still the most incredible miracle ever. But I just wanted to let people know that it's not always this amazing, like, glorified experience. You're not going to come home and they're just going to hear everything and respond to everything, because that's just not the way it works. That's just not the realistic switch on. It's the perfect switch on, but that in reality that doesn't happen that often. We did have it in our heads that perhaps we would come home and he would be like, oh, what's that noise? Oh, what's that noise? But he just wasn't really that bothered. He didn't try to pull his cochlear implants off his head once. Never. He's never ever done that. So it makes me think that straight away he was hearing something and he obviously liked what he heard. We were calling his name and he just started turning, and it was amazing, and he just did it every day from then. He just started turning to his name and responding to people coming in the room, and it was incredible. Obviously we had to go to a lot of appointments right after his switch on because they had to gradually turn it up. I think it was almost weekly, and then it went to fortnightly, then to monthly, and now we don't really go much at all. So yeah, they turned him up very, very slowly. They gave us different settings, so every other day we would turn him up slightly until he was at a level where they felt he was comfortable and he wasn't jumping at noises and he was obviously hearing. And then I think it was around 6 to 8 weeks after his switch off, I managed to get this on camera and he said mama for the first time, and it was so cool. Like, it was amazing. He was like mum 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 mum, and for some reason I was just filming him and I put a little snippet on my Instagram, so I will try and find the original clip and I'll link it below for you. You're probably wondering what Harry's speech is like now. So it is obviously slightly behind, but he is ahead for a child that has a cochlear implant, if that makes any sense. Harry, say hi. Say hi. Yeah, so while he's here, I'll quickly show you. This is his cochlear implant. So it comes on and off like this. And so this is the part where the microphone is, and you stick it to his head with a magnet. Everyone always thinks that's really, really cool. They're like, how on earth are you sticking that to his head? And then it's got a wire like this that connects to a battery pack, which I'll show you. So this is one brand of cochlear implant. There are lots of manufacturers, but this is a manufacturer called Advanced Bionics, and this is called the Neptune. It's called the Neptune because it's waterproof, and that was the main reason we went for it. And you often see cochlear implants where they are behind the ear and then they have this bit on top as well. But we decided that Harry was quite little, so we wanted something that was slightly separate. So we have to clip this to his clothes every day, which can be a bit of a pain, can get in the way and be a bit uncomfortable, I think. But it seems to be the best option at the time. So in 5 years' time, Harry will get an upgrade, so we will probably then upgrade to something that goes behind the ear, and it will have another microphone that's at ear level, so his hearing should be even better. Harry's hearing now is actually better than mine. I've had a hearing test and my hearing is worse than his. He can hear whispers. Harry, see? Can you say Harry? He's gone really, really shy. He can hear me and he can talk. So yeah, his speech now is a little bit behind, but nothing we're really too concerned about. We do start speech therapy this year. I am a little bit nervous about it for some reason, but I'm excited at the same time. So life with a deaf child it can be a little bit challenging, but I don't feel like we have obstacles in our way. Obviously we chose to give Harry hearing with his cochlear implants. Some people don't choose for that. They choose to live their life with the hearing loss, or they aren't bothered that their little one can't hear and they use other forms of communication like sign language and lip reading, and that's absolutely fine. But we chose to give Harry a cochlear implant, and hopefully he will thank us for it when he's older. Hands down the best decision I've ever made. I would never ever make a different decision. It's been like a miracle for us. I mean, when Harry doesn't have his ears on, we call them his ears by the way, when he doesn't have his ears on, he is completely profoundly deaf. He can't hear anything at all. But when he has them on, like I said, his hearing is better than mine. He doesn't wear these at night time at the moment. He might choose to when he's older, but we try to get him used to not wearing them at night. I think it's nice to have a bit of a break from them, and they also have to be charged every night. So we just pop them off, we say good night ears, and they go in a little dry box to soak up any moisture, and then we put the batteries on charge for the night. I think if he starts asking to wear them to go to sleep, I don't think that will be a problem. We just need to make sure that we have a set time every night that we are able to take them off and obviously get them clean and charged up. And down, yeah. He's got so quiet. He's never this quiet. He chats and chats. He's just a normal 3-year-old. I mean, yes, he does have these things on his head that I'm sure one day a child will ask him what they are. So far, no one seems to really ask. I mean, it tends to be older kids and adults that ask us what they are and what they're for. But all the little ones his age just don't even seem to look at them, or they just look at them and they're like, oh. Or even if they say, what's that? You're like, oh, that's Harry's ears, so he can hear. They're like, okay, and they just get on with it. It's really, really cute. It's so endearing. I think kids are so accepting of things like that. It's more like adults that are probably a little bit more like, oh, what is that? I've had a couple of comments on my videos before, like, what are those things on his head? And I mean, that's fine. You obviously want to know what they are, and that's why I'm making these videos. So I don't want to make this video too long because I could go on and on and on about Harry's cochlear implants. And I do want to make some more videos about his hearing loss and his cochlear implant. If there is anything that you want to know, if you want to ask me, if you want me to do a Q&A on his hearing loss or cochlear implants, then do let me know, because it's always something that I am open to talk about. I hope it's given you a little bit more information or a bit of an insight into what it's like to have a deaf child. I'm a really positive person, but I don't have any real negatives to say about the cochlear implant. I mean, the negatives, I suppose, would be the fact that he did have to have surgery. Harry is a really happy little boy. I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye!